Hey, hey, hey. It is Erica.
And Rob.
And we are here with our fourth day of our 12 days of marriage. And so we've had some really good topics so far and a little bit of discussion. And today we are going to be talking about communication in marriage is so crucial. I told myself I was not saying the I word anymore for today. So, communication in marriage is definitely crucial, and we can attest that, sometimes, well, no, all the time. Well, I'll speak for myself. Your tone makes a big difference. And also, my husband is not so, he doesn't care so much about this, but your word choice is important too. And so, in order to have good communication in your marriage, you definitely have to be an active listener. That does not mean that you hear the person. My husband can hear me right now, does not mean that he's actively listening. And vice versa. And honey, what are some other things you think are good as it relates to communication? Oh, one thing for us, like if either one of us starts to raise our voice, we both pretty much shut down. So, hun, well, outside of shutting down when we raise our voice at each other, which we try not to do, that is bad communication because clearly that makes the other person feel some kind of way when you're yelling. Well, you feel like you're being attacked. So that's definitely not a good way to communicate and get your point across. Honey, what are some other things that you would say as it relates to communication and
Well, it definitely takes practice to find how each person will react and respond to the way that you do speak. And there are some tweaking and adjusting that definitely needs to happen. And you may need to kind of, I don't know, check your ego at the door to, I can talk to somebody whoever I want to talk to them and they're just going to have to deal with it. That's not really the right recipe for a successful relationship and to have a healthy communication between your wife and yourself, or your spouse and yourself. With me, when I came into this marriage, I definitely wasn't the best communicator. Pretty much really non-existent, but it took work, and I still have more work to do. But I feel I've gotten a lot better, and just always. I always think I always had to be right. I always had to be, whatever I said was, the way it is. And, that's just not, what I said was the way it was. And so just, thinking back at the times where, those I did talk that way and then react that way when, if my wife didn't really respond, and that would just cause a bigger argument, or, I'd get mad, we would, not communicate at all, and then so we were going the opposite direction. So just always kind of check your ego, know that you're not the end all be all in the relationship. It takes the both of you, and to always hear each other out, and then I guess it can tie back to day two with compromising as well. the healthy communication will bring good compromises as well. So.
Yes, and I want to say that, for myself, when I am talking to my husband, I know there are certain things that if I do, he just shuts down. Right? Rightfully so. Oh my gosh, he hates when I talk with my hands, and that is something that's really hard because he just already automatically thinks I have I have an attitude. Sometimes I do have an attitude, but sometimes I talk with my hands. That is just something that I had to learn to work on, and I'm still learning to work on, because that is where my husband automatically goes, oh, she's got an attitude. And then he's kind of not as open to receive or hear what it is I have to say. So I know, like, talking with my hands is a no. There's a certain tone with my voice that no is not gonna fly with him. And I have a sharp tongue that will chop your head off. So I know that that is not a good way to communicate to my husband. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't in the past, and I'm not saying that sometimes this mouth doesn't belong to me. However, what I am saying is that I know now over the years that that is not a way for my husband to even hear anything that I have to say. And I do agree with him. That goes back to what we talked about day 2, compromise. We can't even reach compromise if we can't even communicate with each other. I think something that's good to do if you're not ready to have a conversation, because some conversations are intense, if you're not ready to have that, take a moment, step away, take a walk, I don't know, read a book, watch TV, whatever you have to do, table it for later, because I think in marriage, I know, in marriage, the other person just wants to be heard. They want to be heard, and they want to know that what they're saying is important to you. And why wouldn't it be? It's your spouse and you love them. So, so if it's like an intense conversation, then take time before you have those conversations. Something that we try not to do. I'm not saying we're successful 100% of the time, but what we try not to do is go to bed angry with each other. Because, of course, you just wake up angry. However, we like to settle all issues. Now, let me tell you, we learned early on, we don't do it now, but, if we've always had that, idea, or not idea. That's what we always wanted to do. Not go to bed angry. However, early on in the marriage, that meant sometimes we're up to like 2, 3 in the morning. Look, my husband has shut down mentally at that point. And you know what? Sometimes I have too, but here we are, because we're not going to bed angry. Well, and then we're just angry at the fact that we are not asleep yet. I mean, we both got to get up, do stuff, go to work. So, important conversations that need to be had. Then if one spouse is not ready, respect that, but also respect the fact that your spouse has something they want to say or get off their chest. So make sure you make a point to communicate that, yes, we can come back to that, just not right now. So anything else you want to say, honey?
No, I think that pretty much it. When we used to stay up late, you always need to have, it takes energy and focus to have those important, heavy, deep conversations, especially if you want to have a healthy resolution in those particular conversations. So, just, always be level-headed. Don't get above yourself, and everything tends to work out. So,
True that.
and I think that's all I got for today.
All right. Well, we will see you tomorrow with day 5 of our 12 days of marriage. This is Erica.
And Robert Q.
And take care. God bless.